You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm and Jupiter. A world-class experience. Visit BremenBMW.com. And by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
That's it. The process continues. The Philadelphia 76ers will advance. And they lead Boston.
Come on.
Will you remember me?
Another season come and gone.
So wrong.
Don't let your life pass.
You would think right now I'd be thinking about the Miami Heat and sadness, but all I'm thinking about is poor unfed dogs
That's right.
help
Yeah, that's
but-
right.
on a very
ASPCA,
sad
whatever it was.
commercial. Yes, that's all I got.
Oh man, you really brought that down for me. I was really
Yeah.
okay.
You were proud of that little production there, weren't you? Now you
I-
just made everybody sad.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to rub the heat loss in our face, and I just threw hungry dogs in them.
Good job.
Yeah.
Now I'm sad.
You deserve that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody's real surprised about last night's outcome, right?
You were the one that said it in 5.
Yeah, I just did not see anything that looked good. I'm sad to say that it happened. But is there anything positive that can come out of it? Maybe the fact that Pat Riley's got to realize that he's got a lot of work to do in the offseason. But what do you do with this roster if you're looking ahead to next year? You got a lot more questions than you got answers.
You have to first figure out a way, and that's true. There are a lot more questions right now. But the first question they have to get an answer to, figure out how to get rid of Hassan Whiteside in his contract.
Think he's gone, huh?
He has to be gone.
Yeah, that's the thing is that there's a difference between thinking he is gone and then having to be gone because thinking he is gone, yeah, I mean, he should, but I don't know if he will be. How are they going to get rid of that?
Yeah, he's got more than $50 million over 2 years remaining on his contract. Now, you could do a buyout, but, I mean, that's going to take a significant cap hit for the Heat, so that's going to put you in a binding situation. The way that he finished up, how are you going to dangle Hassan Whiteside to anybody that's going to bite on that contract and take him?
Especially the way he played in this series.
Yeah, I mean, 10 minutes, 5 seconds, got in foul trouble again last night, not a single basket. That's not the money he's commanding. It's not like he's going to change the game, and the game is changing around him, and he's not adapting to it.
Well, the three-point line, the three-point shot, the way that shooters are developing, the guard play is unbelievable now. What the situation really is that a player like Hassan Whiteside is kind of a dinosaur.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, because Embiid is kind of like Whiteside, except that he has a better outside jump shot and he can hit threes.
Better outside, yeah. I mean, he's a better
it,
player.
yeah.
He's a much more versatile player. Plays like a guard.
And not only that, you just don't see the effort out of Hassan Whiteside. I think that's probably your biggest complaint.
Yep.
And then he just always repels any kind of criticism, doesn't own anything. Last night, his comments after what happened to him in Game 5, he says, at least give me a chance to fight. I can understand if I was playing 30 minutes and I play bad, at least give me a chance. But there were moments where there are rebounds you got to get, man. You got to get in there. You got to get that board.
He looked so lackluster. And
Right.
There was one play I remember where the ball came right back off and Embiid was right behind him and he didn't even turn around. He didn't even attempt to get it.
And everyone's telling you, Shaq's telling you, Wade's telling you, say, hey, when you get in there, whatever minutes you got to make it happen. You got to play smart ball. You can't get into foul trouble. When you got a chance to get an offensive board that can change the tide, you got to get it.
See, what he doesn't understand is that he's not getting more minutes right now, or in general, because the season's over, but he wasn't getting more, minutes because of the way he was playing in those short minutes that he was getting. Right? If you're out there hustling and grinding in those 10 minutes and you get into foul trouble, coach is going to put you back in. He saw how you played in those 10 minutes. When you're out there just not caring, letting Embiid jump over you, smack balls back into your face, and just getting beaten in every aspect of the game.
Got schooled. Schooled hard.
You're not going to get another shot. So when he's saying, oh, give me a chance to fight, you had your chance to fight, Hassan.
Yeah.
You had your chance in this 5 games in the series.
Yeah, nobody wants him to be a part of the Heat anymore. Everybody wants him gone, but it's how do you get rid of him? That's a big question. And then you got questions marks like James Johnson and Tyler Johnson and Josh Richardson. I mean, those guys, do you feel good building a team around them?
Tyler Johnson's
Any of those
getting,
guys?
He's getting so much money.
Tyler Johnson, that's another bad contract.
$50 million for
Yeah,
this guy.
That was a pretty bad contract. I mean, there's some key players that are there that are worthwhile, but I mean, honestly, do you see any hope in this team the way it's structured right now?
Right now, it's a disaster. I mean,
Yeah.
because you've got cap space issues. You really don't have any kind of like answers as far as like draft picks. Where do you go going forward? You might be losing D Wade. Not that he's going to be anything you build around, but his leadership might be gone. So where do you go? And I was just looking at this too. I mean, you don't have a young Pat Riley. The guy's 73.
Yeah.
Right now, you got all these roster problems. There's no easy answers.
His brain's still working, though.
But do you think for him, with what he's looking at and his legacy, which has got to mean a lot to him, how do you want to go out? At least right now, you got a playoff team. Is it better for him to try to stick around and try to rebuild this disaster or just retire?
Man, that's tough.
What do you think Pat Riley decides to do? Because he's looking right now just like, what am I going to do with these contracts? What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this cap space? What am I going to do with the lack of draft picks? Where is this team going to go?
I mean, for a guy like that, for a guy with Riley's ego and his excellence throughout, the past 40 years in his playing and his coaching career,
Yeah.
I can't see him going out on a fizzle. Making the playoffs is great. They missed the playoffs by a game last season. So to get in now is a step, of improvement.
Right.
Yeah.
But this isn't the way O'Reilly would want to go out. I can't see him retiring just yet.
Are you going to get this far next year? And then, okay, you're 74 next year. And then it keeps going. So, I mean, is it...
Chinese water torture on Hassan Whiteside to get him to play better, maybe. Because, I mean, if you can't get rid of him, then you have to really force him into being something that he was before the contract.
I just think what's going on with he and Spoelstra, I think it's broken. I don't know how you repair it. I don't know how you build confidence.
Yeah.
You're not going to build a team around him.
No.
Style of play, what are you going to do? Where's he going to fit in whatever you're going to do in the offseason? He's going to be the odd man out with anything you do going forward. His contract cripples the team. Don't know that you can get much for a trade. So, I don't know. If I'm Pat Riley, I'm like going, what do I got left to prove, man?
Are you done for him? Are you done?
Yeah, he's 73.
But but listen, he was the one that got him the money. Okay, he was the one that signed Hassan Whiteside to the gigantic contract. If he wants to do right by Miami, he gets rid of him and then he leaves. Finds a way to snake out of Whiteside, and then you can go.
He's got to fix it first.
You
before he
have
goes.
to fix it because you gave $50 million to Bumpy Johnson, and you also gave $108 million or some garbage
98 to Hassan.
to Hassan Whiteside. Fix that, and then you can retire.
That's actually a fair point. And to go along with what I was saying is that he's not going to want to go out on a down note for him, which is not only are they looking at rebuilding something
in
here.
history, are you going to remember one contract or are you going to remember what your final teams did? And now he's got a playoff team he walks away with. In 10 years, are we going to be going, yeah, but he left the Heat with that awful Hassan Whiteside contract?
We're
In
going to
10 years,
remember.
yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know about
You
that.
think 10 years from now you're going
It's
to
going to
remember
be looked at
Hassan
as
Whiteside contract?
It's going to be looked at as one of the most horrific
Really?
contracts in Heat history.
And it's all Pat Riley, and he's got to fix it.
Well, I
you
mean,
really think in 10 years we're going to
You're not. That's not going to be his legacy.
career.
That's not going to be his
Right.
legacy. But imagine if he could be able to fix that.
What does more damage to his legacy? Like the Heat start getting to the point where Mickey Harrison's like going, I don't know, man, maybe I just need to make a change because Pat Riley's made some really bad deals, put me in some bad situations. We might need some fresh blood in here. Do you, if you're Pat Riley, want to
get there though?
Where does he go from here? And hey, I mean, you know what would be amazing if Pat Riley pulls Houdini and the Heat have a great roster next year and they make it into the second round of the playoffs? Then then at that point you're like going, okay, now it's time for Pat Riley to walk away. But man, I could see right now in this offseason when you're looking at the books and you're looking at your roster and you're looking at tape of Hassan Whiteside, just saying, I don't know, man, when is it going to be time? I'm 73.
I'm going to throw out a name to you that could help rebuild Pat Riley's legacy. Kawhi Leonard. This is a guy who is disenfranchised, kind of like Hassan Whiteside, in San Antonio. And Popovich has said he does not want him to play in the West if they're going to trade him or let him go. Maybe somehow Pat Riley works out a deal for Kawhi Leonard while getting rid of Whiteside. Maybe Tyler Johnson gets some money off the books to give to Kawhi Leonard. that would fix the situation.
No, it won't.
How so?
Because Kawhi Leonard is the same exact thing
No,
that
he's-
Hassan
not.
Hassan.
Whiteside
No.
is. He's a head case.
How's Kawhi doing right now in the playoffs?
He's not playing.
He's not.
Oh, he's not playing.
He's
Oh,
not playing.
That's right.
And he
Mainly
won't
because
be.
the Spurs just got bounced.
Yeah, he
but,
won't be.
But he's not playing, and he was healthy to play.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to play him because he was a crybaby. You want to bring another one? This is like the conversation we're talking about Des Bryant and OBJ. Imagine Des Bryant going to the Giants and those two idiots playing together.
and
And
scenery.
this is why I think you start looking at the D Wade piece being critical. Because if D Wade walks away, and we're not going to get an answer for a while, he's taking the offseason, who knows? But when you don't have somebody that can try to get these egos in check, that's not Spoelstra, and D Wade is gone, and then you start bringing in these questionable pieces where, yeah, physically they could do great things for the Miami Heat, but you just don't know where they're going to be between the ears, and D Wade is gone. That's maybe something where you're like going, do you want to jump at Kawhi without having D Wade there to walk him through this?
It's D Wade could retire and never leave though. Like he could do. Who was the other guy that was
Alonzo
Alonzo
Mourning.
Mourning,
is,
yeah.
Lonzo, and
Yeah, kinda do
another
the
one
bit.
still. He's one of the assistant coaches right now.
Howard.
Howard.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Juwan Howard's there. Chris
He'd-
Quinn is an assistant coach, for goodness sakes.
But what I'm saying is that he could retire and just never leave because I have a feeling he'll always be a part of that, just like Alonzo. So, I mean, there's a good possibility, but I really think it's a poor decision to go bring in another head case.
Yeah, but sometimes I think you need Wade on the court because he shows you that energy. He's like, going,
Yeah,
look, I'm
but-
going to show you what it means to go out and get. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to show you. And look, I'm 30 next year, 7, and I'm going to show you what it's like to go out and actually get it.
He doesn't have many years to do that, though. He doesn't have the
Maybe
year-
one. Maybe one.
Maybe one.
Maybe
and,
one.
and then he won't play a full season if he plays next year.
Probably
There's
not.
no chance in hell he plays.
Have
a full
limited
season.
minutes, big
Yeah,
time.
Absolutely.
We did Kevin's other show on our Twitter at a poll. If you want to sound off, Pat Riley, rebuild, retire. 59% of people right now saying retire.
Wow. And you see, I would like to hear
That's a
from
close
those people.
count, though.
It is, and I wonder if they're saying that he should retire or they think he's going to retire, because those are two different things. The funny thing is with Pat Riley is he wants to retire. There's a story out there that came out in Sports Illustrated a couple of years ago. I'll never forget reading it. It was so well written about how he fantasizes about retirement and living on the beach in Malibu with his wife and his daughters and his grandkids and just watching the sunset over the beach. And it's just,
Do you want to go when you're still physically capable to do that, or when you're in a chair and you're drooling on yourself and somebody's wheeling you around?
and that's where he is right now. Like, he fantasizes about that and he can do
He's
it.
where he is now. And that's why when you're looking at this disaster, and he wants to be on the West Coast, not the East Coast.
Right.
Yeah, he wants to be far away from here.
Yes, this might be the time to get far away from here.
Yeah.
It could be.
That might be the biggest announcement we get out of the Miami Heat this offseason is Pat Riley is finally hanging it up.
It could happen.
And then you've got another big piece you got to fill in.
Yeah, I would say. It could happen. I just don't think it's going to yet. Knowing Pat Riley, not that I know him personally, but just that he's been down here for so long, it just feels like he's not the type of guy that's going to walk away at this juncture.
How did he leave his other jobs?
Well, you know.
Knicks, Lakers.
The Knicks, yeah,
All right.
kind of that was a little shady.
All right. Well, there's
But this
your
is the
track record.
ultimate leaving. This is the ultimate. Like, he's going to be done.
I
I feel
know.
like he wants to leave on a high note.
Okay.
One
Well,
more crack at it.
we'll see what happens. D Wade.
It's not. He doesn't necessarily need to. He could just want to go someplace else.
Oh, no, I can't see that. Not at
No,
73.
I think he's
Maybe not to be in the same position. Jerry West is still working. Okay, Jerry
the
West
logo.
he's an executive board member for the Los Angeles Clippers. He's still working. He's still in the front office. He's 79.
That's a title. He does
Yeah.
phone conferences from his house. I mean, give me a break.
He sends
Just
in a
saying.
fax
Yes.
whenever he wants to, and they don't even have a fax.
He's just the only one who still does it.
It's like one fax machine, another fax machine goes off on the other side of
I
his
think
house.
Jerry's faxing again.
He's the only
A
one.
fax in a dark room. It's just a fax machine. This was
see it.
brilliant when it left my house, so
That's
I
right.
hope it stays that way.
That's his position.
Coming up here in a couple minutes. Wow, it's really interesting to see how this quarterback board has flipped. What is going on with the NFL draft?
Jeez.
Yeah. And how can you actually watch the draft with us? I got details on that next.
Can't wait to break down last night's game? Yeah, not. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Coming up this weekend, Ozzy.
You going?
It's Sunday night.
I know, that's true.
And I'd
That's
have to
a
take Monday
big
off.
no.
Yeah, that is a big no. And I would love to because he's got Zach Wilde, his big guitarist, is back with him. Has been with the majority of his career. So I would go mainly. I would want to see Zach. I've seen Ozzy before, and it's kind of sad a little bit
Is
because
it?
it's not the same. I mean, Ozzy was so amazing live back in the 80s and even the 90s, and probably even part of the 2000s. But yeah, when I finally got around to seeing him, it was
You caught the aged Ozzy.
Yeah, it was kind of rough.
See, because that's my dilemma right now. I have tickets for a Sunday when Ozzy is there.
Yeah.
But with the kids, you know how this works. You got to
Sure.
have somebody, especially with young kids like I have. You got to have somebody to watch the kids for you on a Sunday night. The in-laws are kind of unsure about that one.
If you've never seen him, I would go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's
We'll
worth
try
it.
it.
He's pickled now. I don't think he's going to get any worse.
Yeah. They help him up on stage. They remove his Afghan. He goes out there and does his thing.
gotta see
He's
what I
up there
can
like
work
a
out.
marionette. They just got strings hanging him from the ceiling.
Sunday night's
much.
tough, though. Ricky, you want to watch my kids?
Nope.
Okay.
This draft is kind of crazy. People spend a lot of time talking about it. I think what's most interesting to me is just how the quarterback draft board has flipped around so much in the last couple of weeks. And I mean, you have the combine, you would think, okay, things would change around a combine. But no, the combine, everything was set. And then for whatever reason, just through talk, if you believe what is being thrown out there now, I mean, was it pretty? I thought it was a done deal. Sam Darnold was going first pick into the Browns, and that was over. It's a done deal. We can move on to what's the second pick, because that's already taken care of. Now, I would say Sam Darnold, and some people still have him, going to Cleveland with that pick. But even inside, from what I'm reading, the inner workings of the Browns, as dysfunctional as it is, doesn't sound like Darnold is going to be that pick. In fact, he would probably be third choice by the Browns even.
What is happening? I mean,
It's crazy.
So what, he could fall to the Jets?
I mean, I'm
Sam
not mad.
Darnold?
I'm not mad.
It looks to me, I would say probably order right now, Baker Mayfield seems to be the far out favorite.
God, I can't believe that.
Josh Rosen, second, and then arguably Darnold is third.
Yeah, and the Dolphin delusionists think that Baker Mayfield is going to hang around till 11? 11?
When it first started out,
Fantasy.
There were a lot of boards that had Baker Mayfield around at 11 for the Dolphins to get. And so I started really looking at the numbers and fell in love. I'm like, oh, how great is it going to be? And I think, Gase and the Dolphins fell in love with Baker Mayfield too, because this is a real possibility. This looks like this would be our guy. Right now, it looks like there's zero chance you'll get Baker Mayfield.
That's the way it looks now, right? I mean, what
Right now.
happened? All of a sudden, it seems like Sam Darnold is not even in this draft anymore.
There are maybe some things, as they started digging deeper and looking at this, that they said, hey, Baker Mayfield, yes, undersized, but there were just some intangibles that you looked at. He played great in big games,
Yeah.
Arguably against a good defense. I know I'm a homer when it comes to Ohio State. Ohio State's my team. But, man, they had some ballers on that defense, and Baker Mayfield really shred them. I mean, that was a solid performance with a lot of NFL guys, including one that's going to go in the top 10 on defense that he faced off, that he made look silly. He did. Made the Buckeyes look silly in that game in the shoe in Columbus.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are some numbers here, like if you look at the adjusted completion percentage under pressure, which you're going to have in the NFL. I mean, how often are you going to be like, I'm going to stand there like a statue and just pick the ball off? I mean, unless you're Tom Brady, it doesn't happen all the time. Baker Mayfield has a completion percentage when adjusted for pressure at 68.5%. That's top out of all the quarterbacks.
Jeez.
Josh Rosen second, 66.7%. I mean, this might be one of those kind of like things that they were looking at saying, when it comes to pressure and dealing with it, Baker Mayfield is the best. Rosen is the second. Darnold is third. You look at Josh Allen, all the way down at fifth, even below, and a good bit below Lamar Jackson. 40.7% completion when he's under pressure. That's Josh Allen.
And that's pretty alarming for Josh Allen to have
Really
that
alarming.
stat, because he plays for Wyoming or played for Wyoming, and they're not exactly playing, Ohio State. and
They're not
Oklahoma.
playing Ohio State, and Baker Mayfield was. Yeah, Ohio State against Josh Allen, I think they would have
Brutalized him.
brutalized him.
It's just so weird because whatever happened to this is a great QB draft?
It's not. No, I'd say.
We could have 5 quarterbacks go in the first round.
I think it speaks more to the mediocrity of the draft pool than to the greatness of the quarterbacks in this draft.
Yeah.
I mean, are these great quarterbacks? Can we even ask that question yet? I mean, they were good in college.
Well, even when we look back at the 83 draft when you had 6 taken, there were only 3 that were really productive of the 6.
Yeah. And you're already going in with doubts on these ones.
Yeah.
And really the only 2 that look like they're pretty solid is Rosen and Baker.
That might be the only 2 that you want to take.
Which is weird because those are the two that they were like, whoa, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold. I mean, Jesus, they're like specimens.
They were it.
Yeah.
Josh Allen was going to the Giants like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're right about
That's
Mayfield.
an ugly percentage, though.
Yeah,
Under
it is.
pressure, 40% completion.
Yeah, it's not good.
I mean,
who the
Lamar
hell are you
Jackson's
playing?
49.3. That's a big difference.
It's a huge difference.
And here's why I think Baker Mayfield is likely going to go number one, because the big question that I think a lot of GMs are looking at with Josh Rosen is durability. He was out a lot at UCLA. He played only 6 games in 2016 because of a shoulder problem.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Then he had 2 concussions in 2017. You know those things feed off each other.
It's I think one of the things you have to look at with the under pressure, though, is how many times, going back to this real quick, Lamar Jackson being 9 points over Josh Allen, did Lamar Jackson ever sit in the pocket, though?
No, that's
He was
good.
best outside of it.
So, I mean, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He
So
did. He did a
his
little
game,
bit.
His game was under pressure.
He did a little bit. I didn't see as much of him. I really watched a good bit of Vic back in his days, and I know some people had made some comparisons with athleticism and then saying, okay, does he have the same kind of arm? Vic had an unbelievable arm, man.
Yeah.
Just looking at that tape, I couldn't even believe how he would sling that ball and effortlessly. Lamar Jackson was good. I don't think you see the same kind of accuracy, and I don't see the same kind of arm strength either. He's
Yeah.
not the same kind of quarterback. You're not going to see that. And he is very stubborn about staying quarterback. You look at a lot of these guys now, and how many college quarterbacks have gone over to the receiver position?
Yeah. Well, he could be like a Tyrod Taylor type.
He doesn't want, maybe.
You know, I mean, you can be able to, as long as you have a good offensive line and your legs can be able to go. I mean, even Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston's very versatile on his legs,
Yeah.
but he also has a pretty good arm. He doesn't have a Jameis Winston arm.
No, I was going to say Winston was a true quarterback, too.
When-
And you know what? When your mom wants you to stay a quarterback, you're going to stay a quarterback. Because with Lamar Jackson having his mom's
Mother's always
agent,
right.
You listen to Josh Rosen interviews, and, some people are a little bit worried because he's very opinionated. He doesn't seem to like Donald Trump. You see sometimes when you get a little too political that it doesn't always pay off in the NFL. Is there anything that you hear from Josh Rosen that makes you worried about attitude? Or do you think it is benefiting him? Do you like Josh Rosen when you hear him interviewed or not? He was just on earlier today with Colin Cowherd and had this to say.
I mean, the media constantly gets mad at Bill Belichick and all these guys, and even my school's new coach, Chip Kelly, for giving 1-2-word responses, and they're getting mad at him like, give us more, and then I give you guys more, and then you guys lose your minds over it. So, pick which one you want.
That's a good point.
He said he's a millennial. He said, we have causes. He said, you look at quarterbacks of the past, and it just wasn't something their generation did. My generation speaks out on social causes. It's what I do. So
I never really
You're
heard
in-
him
you're in
spoke that
love with
much.
him. You
I
love
never
him.
really heard him spoke that much, and I'm in love with him.
He turned you, right?
I'm not. You think I'm going to fall into that trap?
I tried. I did try.
Nice try, idiot.
I did try it.
Was it? No, he really is he's super well spoken. I said to Steve, I go, if this guy's football career doesn't turn out, he's going to be an unbelievable TV announcer.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so eloquent and he says whatever he wants. It's amazing. As a fan, I love that.
Okay.
Because if you watch, that's why Gronkowski is so beloved by so many people, because he just says whatever the hell he wants. But there's also why people hate Bill Belichick, because he just goes, we're on to Cincinnati. And that's it.
yeah.
So, I mean, to be able to have that type of personality come out of a player is
Yeah.
amazing.
All right.
And this could have the reverse effect. Fans might like it, but executives might, because, like I was saying to Ricky earlier today, it's the Kaepernick effect. It's something completely different, but executives are now scared of that outspoken player where they say, yeah, well, you know what, you're pretty
Right.
good, but we don't
Yeah.
want the headache.
Yeah. How far do you let him be outspoken?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a good question.
Still a crapshoot. We're going to be at Brother Jimmy's for the draft on Thursday night. Come on out at 7:30. We got all kinds of cool stuff like Sunfest tickets, Kevin Hart tickets we're going to be giving you, so come on out and say hey for that. But I want to close this up with just showing you how of an unproven science it is with more Mel Kiper misses.
Yes.
He said that Jamarcus Russell could be a top 5 NFL quarterback and was John Elway like at the 2007 NFL draft.
Oh, well, he could throw 70 yards from his knees.
In
He just couldn't get off of them. That's the problem.
In 1993, he said third overall pick Akili Smith would be, quote, a great NFL player.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's not good.
In 98, second overall pick Ryan Leaf, he said his attitude would be a, quote, asset in the NFL.
About Ryan Leaf and his attitude?
More
That's
like an ass hat.
So there you go. More Mel Kiper misses, and there are plenty more where that came from.
Oh, I love the draft.
Yeah. All right, coming on up here, we're going to tell you about one Florida Gator that they say has got the skills that match up with anyone at his position, but he loves marijuana too much.
Yo.
How many of these guys are trying to beat drug tests getting into the NFL? We'll discuss next.
Be part of the show on Twitter at 640 The Hurricane, hashtag Kevin's Other Show.
What are you laughing for? It's a good song. What are you laughing for?
It's like, no, it's supposed to like bring some type of intensity to the show.
Listen, it's not my fault the song
You've got
starts off low.
kryptonite.
Okay?
Hey, if it's 2000, man, this would be jamming.
Yeah, people be losing their minds like, I love this song. This is when people were downloading MP3s. They went to mp3.com.
Some LimeWire. Remember that?
Jesus.
Sorry.
You know my position on drug testing in the NFL. When it comes to marijuana, I think it's silly. I
Don't
think
do it.
It would be easy enough for the NFL just to walk away from it and say, hey, look, the laws are changing. Everything's changing. I mean, realistically, 85 to 90% of the players in the NFL are smoking marijuana. Yeah. The league's still going on. Yeah. They're just having to, try to do all kinds of weird things like get fake penises to try to beat drug tests.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. Anybody who knows anything about beating a drug test knows all about that.
Yeah, the Wizinator.
The Wizinator, baby.
Stop. Is
Yeah.
that what it's called?
It's a real thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And somebody needs to get with former Florida wide receiver Antonio Callaway that had issues when he was at Florida about staying eligible and out of the doghouse when it came to the coaches. Now it looks like he's going to be in it when it comes to NFL GMs because he's tested positive for marijuana at the combine.
Ah.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
It blows my mind. It's like Josh Gordon. Like over and over and over again, you get hit for it. Like, you come on,
You
man.
know you're going to be tested.
But
Just
this
don't
is-
do it for a couple weeks.
Does he get that high?
Yeah.
He forgets he's going to be. What is he? First of all, what is he smoking? Because I mean, that's got to be some high grade
Yeah.
hydroponics.
It's true.
Yeah. You would think you could stay away from it for a while, but how many of the players do? And this is just the other stuff. If they stop testing for it, and some people may say, well, look, if he's that dumb, he'll do something dumb if, you just stop testing for marijuana anyway. But, come on.
I don't know. I think he'd be too lazy and high to do anything dumb. That's the only dumb thing he's doing. He just keeps forgetting that he can't do it.
Well, listen, there's two things here that are ridiculous. Number one, it's the rule that they have to test for marijuana. Like, enough already. I get federal laws, states, but you can make business laws within your company.
That's a big case for it. I mean, honestly, I think you should worry a lot more about performance-enhancing drugs, right?
Yeah.
Keep the sport fair than you should worry about something like marijuana, where in certain states, like where the Broncos play, you can, do it recreationally.
Their stance is federally illegal, so that's
get
the way
it.
they took with it. But what they should be worrying about is prescription medications destroying the bodies of the
Right.
people that are giving
Yep.
you a effing product, you idiots.
Yeah, there's that too. And also, too, since these rules are in place right now, as asinine as they are, just don't smoke before you're going to get tested. Like, why is this so hard for these guys?
It's like
to get
standing
caught?
outside the clinic and like puts it out, steps on it, was like,
Just
can you,
don't
hey, can you hold this for me?
get
I gotta
it.
go and get a drug test. I'm so high.
You literally know when you're going to be tested. Just don't.
They let you know.
Yeah. How long does marijuana stay in your system?
30 days technically.
Okay.
Is it that long?
If you don't smoke a lot, yeah. Because what happens is that your body gets accustomed to it, so the THC tends to go through your body faster the more you smoke.
Yeah. And the weird thing about it, I've known people who have tried to beat them before for jobs they worked at, and the THC, I guess it is, binds itself to the fat in your body.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it really gets ingrained in there. And so it's real tricky to try to get rid of.
You have a nervous system inside of you, inside of your also existing nervous system called the endocannabinoid system, which actually stores all of that
Always
THC
getting technical
in
in here.
Well, just saying, but that's
Dr. Ricky.
But that's the reason why it takes so long. Like cocaine's in and out of your system in a little bit, heroin's in and out of your system in a little bit.
Yeah.
But THC, because your body reacts to it a certain way, chemically, it stays in there.
Did Michael Vick ever fail a drug test? I know he got busted trying to sneak it through an airport. Remember that? He had that, I think it was a 7-Up bottle, and it had a secret compartment.
Yes, that's
where he'd
right.
stash his weed.
Classic.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever got busted on a test, though.
No.
Not that I remember.
Yeah, but he had those that era where And it wasn't just the dog charges. He had the marijuana issues, and then the dog charges really blew up, and he went to prison and everything else. Well, apparently all's forgiven. Michael Vick just got hired as the offensive coordinator in the new AAF league, and it's interesting how they really seem to be trying to get regional icons. In Orlando, you got Spurrier. He's trying to get Tebow. This is the Atlanta franchise. They're going after Michael Vick. And I just know because a couple weeks ago did an interview with Michael Vick, and just kind of like seeing the reaction of doing that interview. And it was all about redemption and things like that was the angle of the conversation that I had with Michael Vick. But there were a lot of people saying this guy should never be forgiven. But in the course of the conversation, it came up that if you go to Blacksburg and Virginia Tech, you walk into the football facilities that they have there, there is a massive mural of Michael Vick on the walls. He is treated in Blacksburg like a walking god. Like, there's no talk of the dogfighting charges. That is just something that a little blip on the radar, made his mistake, did his penance. He's been turning himself around, trying to mentor kids. And here you go. And I wonder, maybe in Atlanta, it's the exact same thing where it's like, yeah, you look at what he did for the Falcons, and he's paid his penance. He's on the straight and narrow now, and there's total forgiveness because I don't hear really any kind of uproar about him getting this job as the offensive coordinator. Now, it's the AAF. It's not like it's the NFL.
Yeah, I think that's why nobody cares, because nobody knows.
Maybe. Nobody's talking about this in Atlanta. And is there going to be any kind of stink that goes with it? Brad Childress, who was an NFL coach for the Vikings, he's going to be the head coach of this team. They're playing at Georgia State Stadium.
Wow.
I mean,
So you got two former NFL coaches already in Spurrier and in Childress.
I would refuse to work with him.
You would refuse to work with Vic?
Yeah.
What, just because of his past?
Well, yeah. I don't believe him. I don't believe that he's any bit remorseful for what happened. I just know that he did something stupid. He knows he did something stupid, and he's just saying, I'm not doing it again. But does he feel bad for it? I highly doubt it.
Well, look, he was in here. We both met him face to face.
Yeah.
So
and that was when I was pretty sure of that going into this. But when I actually sat down and we had like a small conversation with him, I was 100% sure.
You may not be wrong.
Yeah, you know, he talks in other interviews where he said the best thing that happened to him was getting busted and going to prison. It turned his life around, got him on the straight and narrow. I, know that Andy Reid did a lot when he took him on with the Eagles to say, look, I'm going to work with you, going to mentor you, going to try to make sure that you've learned from your mistakes and that you pass on wisdom.
We see the kind of athlete he was. Of course he was going to work through his mistakes.
But that's the kind of person you invest time in because you're like going, look, the physical skills they have, if I can try to fix what's between his ears and to make him realize how screwed up it was and that what you did was bad and try to use now your platform to let other people know that's bad. Don't be doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Or just, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid so he can win for you.
Probably.
Which is probably the same situation because it goes back to Ray Rice. Ray Rice didn't come back to the NFL.
Because probably they said, hey, look, he doesn't have the same physical upside that,
2.3 yards a carry.
If you watch highlight film of Michael Vick, he's unbelievable, man.
He's a specimen.
Oh, my. He really was the best player in the NFL for a while. It was unreal what he could do. So, yeah, you're right. With that physical upside, if you're Andy Reid, you would invest in him. Andy Reid continued to, though. I didn't realize that, Vic went to Kansas City as just like an intern assistant with Andy Reid when he was there. So Andy Reid was still trying to work with him, and that's where he met up with Bam Childress, and that's why, Michael Vick is now the offensive coordinator for this AAF team. So it'll be interesting to see how they take it.
What's the name of the AAF team?
Do they have a name yet?
I didn't see a name with it.
They better be careful.
Yeah.
Not going to go.
There's a lot of hot water to step in there.
Nothing in the dog realm, I'm assuming.
Please.
Make it something generic. Just like
play the Pittsburgh Pound or something. Like, you don't want to do that.
Yeah. Maybe like the Atlanta Dirty Birds or something. Like just generic, hometown something.
Football team.
Yeah, kind of ridiculous. Yeah, so who knows what's going to happen with that. Coming up here, going to be talking a little bit about the Yanks rolling, Marlins, some interesting stats, and I've got some positive things to say about the Miami Marlins as well. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'll let you hear the bad, but I've got some good to offset it, man. Maybe we're on the rise here.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see. That's coming up next.
Get Kevin's other show whenever the hell you want on YouTube and at 640thehurricane.com.
Did anybody actually watch the interview that was on TV last night with Derek Jeter and Bryant Gumbel?
I did not. No.
Yeah, we played, I think, the really significant part. And
Pretty
that's where
much.
Bryant Gumbel was going after him about tanking, and then they had their cute little exchange, which on paper looked like it was so nasty when he said he was, weak-minded? That's what Jeter apparently threw.
I'd love to get you
Brian
on the
Gumbel.
golf course.
Yeah, but
did
it
that
was
mean?
all pretty much just done.
Mental game.
Oh, okay. Mentally weak. Got it.
You really just
Ironic, he just
repeated
said
yourself.
that. Yeah. Ironically, he just said mentally weak in that statement.
He goes, he said he was
weak?
mentally weak. What does that mean? Oh, he's mentally weak? Got it.
It's been a long day. There's a lot going on here today. I'm sorry.
All right.
So as that is going on HBO last night, hey, the Marlins won their 6th of the
Oh.
season. They now
Nice.
sit at 6-16. They beat the Dodgers too, 3-2. How about that, huh?
Wow.
Some good stuff right there.
Poor
So there's-
Dodgers.
There's some optimism here. Good
Is
things
there?
to look at.
What
There
is-
is some good things
Are
to
you
look
sure?
at.
What's that?
There is some optimism. I will, first of all, let you know the obvious. Let's get the ugly out of the way, which you all know.
They suck.
Before the win, the numbers did not look good. 15 teams in the National League. Here's how the Marlins rank. Batting average, they're 12th. On base percentage, 13th. Home runs, 14th. Stolen bases, 15th. ERA, 15th. Home runs allowed, 14th. Starters, ERA, 15th. Bullpen, 14th. So,
Not so good.
not great.
I'm waiting for the positive.
Okay, here come the positives, baby. Harlan Garcia.
Yeah.
Oh, our
Okay.
boy.
Here we
Harlan
go.
Garcia has a .53 ERA in 3 career starts. That's among the
Whoa.
best in baseball. Okay, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Upswing. Who's
All right.
tanking now, baby?
That's
There we go.
In your
Yeah.
face,
Go.
Brian
Give me
Gumbel.
some more. I want some more positive.
Garcia has
Marlins.
given up only 1 run and 5 hits in 17 innings as a starter.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes.
Jeez.
Opponent's batting average, a meager .093 against him.
Oh my God.
Okay, right?
Wow.
Yes. He's also shut down 2 of the top teams in the Yankees and the Dodgers. Both he did on the road.
Look at. Do you hear him?
Okay,
Do you hear
he
what
looks
he's saying?
good.
You picking it? No.
No.
No, he's not saying. He's asleep.
Hold on. Trying to do something.
He.
He's
That's
really
great.
only the good numbers that you've got.
That's really
He's the
good.
success story. You
Here
got
we go.
Harlan Garcia. Now, there is hope that maybe you got some other players coming back that can add to it. Martin Prado's on his way back. JT Riddle's about to come back. Wei Yin Chen apparently is close.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
We're in what?
We're in what?
Did I miss
Denial.
something?
Yeah. That is what denial sounds like.
Was there a cue that I missed? I was trying to find The Marlins Will Soar by Scott Stapp.
Yeah. Harlan Garcia is what you got. That's
Okay.
pretty much it.
That's
okay.
yeah.
That's good.
Hey, listen, I try to stay positive for you guys for a little while there, but
No, I hear you.
it was really tough.
So 1 out of every 4 or 5 games, the Marlins have a shot to win.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take it.
All right, you do the math on that. That's how many? I don't want to do that. Yeah, it's not very positive.
25 wins.
Yeah.
That's what it amounts to.
They're back in town coming up on Friday. They got a weekend series against the Rockies. The Marlins will soar.
Yeah, see? I got it. There it is.
This is not positive.
I found it.
This is where the real
Yeah.
negative hits the wall.
I know, I hear you.
Right
It
here.
is. I know. I'm sorry. You got me pumped up, though, about the Marlins. I had to get it.
Okay, the crack of the bat is that is the most useless sound effect. It is so corny and stupid.
Gets me every time.
Was Scott Stapp drunk when he did this?
He must have
Probably, yeah. This was in his
been. He was drunk a lot.
fuzzy years, yeah.
He was like, this is on the new Creed album. Just listen, just sing it real quick.
That's where it gets really hard, though.
I think this is when Creed wouldn't even talk to him.
This is
Yeah.
when this is when he lived in the Motel 6 or something like that, making YouTube videos,
was.
and
Yeah.
telling people to help him.
He
Went
was
on his
the
solo
outs,
career
yeah.
making Marlins
the
theme
outs.
songs.
Yeah, let's make fun of those
Yep.
people.
Yankees had a big night last night. If you missed it, they beat the Twins 8-3.
Wow.
How about Didi Gregorius,
He's
man?
unreal right now.
8 home runs in 22 games. That's the most home runs by a shortstop in Yankee history through 22 games.
It's,
That's teeny
even-
little guy. Too.
I know. It's even more than Jeter.
it's amazing, right? I mean, you think about all the names that have come through there.
Yeah.
He's got the record.
Yeah. And Sanchez had 2 home runs last night. So Yankees looking pretty good.
Didn't Judge have a home run last night too?
I think he did.
Yeah.
You know what the crazy thing is about Judge is that he's having a really good season. It's just that Didi is just off the wall, right? 8 home runs. Like, he's leading the team in like every major batting stat there is. And Judge is hitting .341 with 1 less home run than Didi.
But Donnie Baseball did a good thing. Not Donnie Baseball. Was it Aaron Boone did a good thing?
Okay.
Sorry, I was so locked up in the positivity of the Marlins.
We got you, man. You got you. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. I like it.
So Aaron
like
Boone did a
it.
good thing. He finally changed the lineup.
Okay.
He moved Stan back in the lineup, and then what happened? He had a good game at Yankee Stadium, and now hopefully this will keep up because Stan was batting third.
Right.
And he was not ready for that. Now they put him down. I think he's like 5th.
I think he's 5th now.
Yeah. So
He was. They might have moved him back up. I think Sanchez is 5th now, at least as of last night. But yeah.
yeah. Well, the problem was that it was Granderson. It was
Granderson?
Gardner.
Yeah, I was gonna
Gardner.
say.
Yeah.
It was Gardner. God almighty.
Yeah. Judge.
Gardner, Judge,
Didi.
Then it was Stan, then Didi was after him, and then Sanchez.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, I mean, putting Stan so far up in that lineup, you're thinking those two, but they were just batting around in order to be able to get to they were batting around Judge in order to be able to get to Stanton. Mm-hmm. It was a dumb move, but now they moved him back, and it seems like everything's clicking. So good for them.
Did you see the dumb move that
Granderson.
Toledo did?
What the Toledo? What are they? The Rockets?
Yeah. You know, everybody does this whole thing where they try to get like retweets and everything, so they
Yeah.
can come up with something crazy. You know, it's so like the marketing firms that some of them are winning. Like Wendy's is pretty good. You know, when they're trolling McDonald's, kind of digging that. You sent me one, Ricky, that the planner's nut is like doing weird stuff on Twitter. It's
Not
like
understand.
not really hitting the mark.
It's very strange because they're asking about because they were talking about the whole everything getting canceled. It says according to a record number of baseball games have been postponed this April. Maybe it's time your Wingnut sponsored new favorite pastime should be one of these. And the options are axe throwing,
What?
LARPing.
What?
What is
spear-
LARPing?
LARPing? It's like when you
Is-
go into a field and you pretend you're like dragons and knights and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Oh, okay, like role play
Oh,
type
yeah,
thing.
role play.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
They're
You know
working
about
it.
role play, huh?
Hey now.
Spearfishing and bird watching.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So they're asking maybe they should start sponsoring some other sport because they can't get it on damn television because it keeps getting postponed.
It's actually pretty funny.
I think it's hilarious.
Okay. University of Toledo, though, man, they really kind of struck out on this. They thought it'd be funny to post a photo of Shrek and say, hey, if we get 500,000 retweets, we will change our name from the Rockets to the Shreks.
Oh, yes. Please tell me this happened.
People loved it.
Yeah.
It got to 90,000 and they deleted the post. And now people have turned on Toledo and are trolling them like crazy, saying, come on, man, you can't throw that out there and then
can't.
back out of it.
Oh, my gosh.
Somebody got wind of it, like, we're easily going to hit 500,000 on this. And can you imagine?
90,000 in 5 minutes. You're like, uh-oh.
What are you going to do? Change the mascot, the uniforms, letterhead?
Yeah, I don't think
They don't-
I think the owner was a part of this.
They start wearing the green ears on the helmets.
On
Yes.
Yeah. It works for a minor league baseball team. I don't know about, like, college football, though.
Yeah, probably not the greatest. It wouldn't work out that well. But, I mean, telling you, nobody was paying attention to that tweet.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Toledo's already got the Mud Hens, which, like, what the hell's a Mud Hen? That's their minor league team that they got there. So the Shreks probably wouldn't work. It's already been covered.
That's
Hey.
wonderful.
Yeah. Hey, the NFL draft going to be going down, of course, tomorrow. And when it does, we are going to be at Brother Jimmy's at City Place starting at 7:30. Got a little pick to pick. You can come out and say who you think is going to be the next pick to pick up Sunfest tickets, Kevin Hart. We've also got tickets for Rapids and Boomers VIP with $5 Bud Light Ultra, and Stella with $6 appetizers, 75-cent wings, and you can meet the Hurricane Hotties. We'll see you out there tomorrow night with Kevin's other show.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm Beach. A world-class experience. Shop BremenPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's other show on 640 The Hurricane.